Hey guys, what is up? And I hope you guys are having an amazing day. As we are halfway through with the Ghost and Molly McGee's second season, I wanted to do an explanation of the popular headcanons for the show, mainly the LGBT headcanons for the main characters, and explain why it could be a real possibility in the future of the show. And a few months ago, like almost nearly a year, I made talked about the LGBT representation in the show and how and told my headcanons, but now I kind of updated them to a little bit differently. But some of them are still the same, which I can definitely reveal later with more being added. But I wanted to explain them why they could be a possibility in the future of the show. So I don't want to waste any more time. Let's get into it. First off, let's start with the main character, aka Molly McGee. When people started gushing over the interactions between Molly and Libby and Molly and Andrea, people had canned her as lesbian during season 1 airing, before Ollie showed up in season 2. Libby and Andrea shippers started getting upset because of Molly's canon crush on Ollie, and fans started headcanning her as either bisexual or pansexual. For me, personally, I want to go with pansexual because doesn't see what gender she wants to date. This is giving me the vibe. Not only as a pansexual person myself, to be honest, and especially her voice actor, Ashley Burch, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, came out as pansexual and queer last year. That also can help. However, some characters from other shows have different sexualities from their voice actors. Like Amy Blythe from The Owl House is lesbian, her voice actress Mae Whitman is pansexual, and Blitz from Hello Boss is pansexual, while his voice actor Brandon Rogers is gay. Angel Dust from Has Been Hotel is gay, while his voice actor Michael Kovac, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is ace. Except for one show, Amphibia, Sasha Waybright is bi, and her voice actor Anna Kana is bi too. Not only these two shows have one similarity, that is the protagonist is Ty, but they can have one more similarity by matching one of the characters' sexuality with their voice actor. That's a kind of coincidence I found on while writing the video. I can kind of feel more confident in this theory. As for her being bisexual, there was a bright mom on his helmet, and her skirt was having the bisexual colors on. And a lot of these shows teases the characters' sexuality with patch or something of their sexuality on an object or something. Like Hunter having a bi patch on his sweater from the Owl House, alongside Willow having a pansexual hair clip or whatever in the Thanks to Them credits. But for now, I'll definitely hate Canon Molly as Pan for now, as they get more teases of what her sexuality could be. It would be cool to have the pansexual character in this show, like After Willow from The Owl House, Allie from Amphibia, Blitz from Hell of a Boss, and Husk from Has Been Hotel. Like, there's so much more bi characters than Pan. Like, there are not too many Pan characters in shows that I watch, so yeah, I would like to headcanon Molly as Pan for now until if she was confirmed bisexual. If she's confirmed bi, then I'll take it. Any headcanon can work for that. So let's move on now. Next up, let's start with the love interest of the protagonist, aka Oliver or Ollie Chan, any of those. At first, people really hate him due to being boring and being the reason why Libby and Andrea are getting sunk underwater, but because of putting another main hetero couple in the show. Don't get me wrong, I know we want more representation, but we don't want for this show to go in a direction like the Owl House. I'm probably wrong with this, you know what I'm talking about, because I thought the LGBT representation was the reason the Owl House got canceled, but as I did more research before recording this, I don't think it's wrong. I feel like the main couple being LGBT is, I don't know how to tell, because and that's not the kind of story Bill and Bob want to tell, as I now brought it up in mind, which I'll explain in other later videos too. So yeah. As for now, to clear up Molliver, aka the ship name for Molly and Ollie, we can definitely headcanon Ollie as either transgender or non-binary, as it could be a possible solution. As for now, if we get see more of Ollie's character in the rest of the second season. Since now we are halfway through season 2, he is getting more development. Personally, I chose non-binary or gender fluid because when I first saw him, he gave me a lot of non-binary vibes to me. Not only I'm a non-binary person myself too. If Ollie is non-binary, he would definitely use the pronouns of he/they because since he is more male-ish. Like I also use she/they as I'm also non-binary and I also use she/they because I'm more female-ish. Alongside the non-binary headcanon, for his sexuality, I personally would choose bisexual because he gave me and some other fans bisexual vibe / energy at the same time for me and others. Like, I don't really think he's straight at all. That's what I'm thinking. And I don't feel it. You can see me. I'll have another video talking about Ollie and Meli's relationship alongside talking about the headcanons I have for them. As the finalist result, to make sure Disney doesn't mess up with the show like The Owl House, which it's not because of the LGBT representation, Disney is now learning from the mistakes and regret from canceling The Owl House, so don't take this too much seriously in the comments for me. I feel like the show would have wanted the main couple to be hetero. I think that's the writers' choice. I'm not talking about that every couple should be hetero. Like, LGBTs are fine, but Bill and Bob don't want to tell this kind of story. They will choose Molly and Ollie for a romantic relationship. So, do not bug on me for this in the comments. So yeah, as I asked Bob Robb of how they came up for Molly and Ollie's romantic relationship, he said there were a lot of talks about it when they were in the production of the second season. Yeah, so yeah, they had a talk in the writers' room for the second season. What they wanted to do for that. So yeah, and I'm kind of hopefully this ship is enforced or anything, as I will probably ask on later in the future. So yeah, I really hope Ollie is bi, and hopefully we can see if he has interactions with male characters in the future. Because still, I don't have the feeling of him being straight. I want to know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about the Ollie being bi headcanon? I personally want to know your thoughts because there's not so much talk about it on social media. There are other headcanons, mostly for Molly, Libby, and Andrea. I want to know your thoughts of Ollie being bi headcanon in the comments. Please let me know. I really want to know your thoughts. I'll ask on throughout social media too because I want to know what you guys think. Is he straight or he's bi? I'm just gonna personally choose bi because that's my favorite, and non-binary or gender fluid. So anyway, moving on. Next up is Molly's best friend, aka Libby Stein Torres. When her interactions with Molly were getting fans excited and they may be a thing, people headcanon Libby as either bisexual or lesbian. Lesbian was the most headcanon since she had never had attraction to man in the show. However, somewhere in season 2, since we saw Libby didn't have interaction to women as well, some people headcanon her just as straight or ace. That could definitely work until like the episode like Father like Libby. She blushed at Molly. I think or she was just shy or it was a good compliment of Libby's story that Molly was reading in the beginning of that episode. So yeah, as my final results, I can probably headcanon Libby as an asexual as her sexual attraction, and lesbian as her romantic attraction. Like similar to Octavia and Hell of a Boss, people headcanon her as ace and her romantic attraction being lesbian, which I personally like that because Octavia never had romantic attraction to any male characters, and I feel like she has more. I feel like I can feel it in her romantic attraction. So yeah. Some people ship Libby with Daryl, which I'll go more to in a later video. All I can say for now is the age difference is a problem with this ship, and I don't exactly ship it. Like, Libby is older than Daryl. Like, the ship difference in the show is like will definitely feel not really good at all. So I will talk about more of that ship in a later video in the future. So look out for that. Next up is the character that has been teased a lot to be part of the LGBT community, aka Andrea Davenport. Her interactions with Molly got some shippers for that too, like Molly and Libby. Some of us headcanon her as either lesbian, bisexual, or pansexual. I'll probably say lesbian because she had attraction to men before. I feel like most of you guys missed out on the part that Andrea had attraction to men before. So yeah, an example can probably be her being bi in the show. Like she said Libby to Molly in Hooray for Mollywood. She also had slow dance with a blonde boy at Libby's bat mitzvah, and the white and tall boy at the middle school prom. She could also call Molly a cutie in the Don't Good There. The text L8R in her theme song Takeover is even in bi-colors. Furthermore, in the Chibi Tiny Tales called Scratch Molly's third wheel, Andrea goes out with a vaguely female-looking character, the red head girl character. Another TV show put out for Pride Month features Andrea alongside Jeff and Jeff, as well as other Disney Channel characters, several of whom are LGBTQ+. Some people also headcanon her as trans, probably as a trans woman, since her design color palette is similar to the trans fact that is probably implied. I like that headcanon as well alongside bi. So yeah, that's my headcanon. As for Andrea, she's so bi in the show, to be honest. Last but not least, the main character is his best friend Scratch, who is a ghost. I personally headcanon him as Arrow Ace, to be honest, for a while since last year when I talked about the LGBTQIA+ rep. I know some people ship him with Jinx after the jig is up and the afterlife of the party or of the party. But as I know, Jinx is an antagonist of the show. Not clearly lit. Like, I feel like she will be the main antagonist for the entire show, to be honest. Also with Skrinks, with the ship named for Scratch and Jinx, being relatively unpopular and a crapshoot at the same time. He isn't interested in dating as well as we saw on the show. Like, he never thought of dating at all. Like, not at all. So, yeah, that's what I can personally say about him. But he didn't say he wasn't interested in dating, but having the vibe of it, he gave me a lot of Arrow vibes to me. As we already saw now with Molly/Molliver will be the end game, since the ship is with the protagonist and most of the sidekicks from other shows don't have a love interest. Maybe kind of take that like Polly from Amphibia. I know this freak is probably dating Ivy as it's on the series finale, but Polly as a sidekick still counts. Scratch still can be either Ace or Arrow or both. Not every character has to end up in a relationship, by the way, like Gus, for example, in the Owl House. Since also Jinx tried to kill Molly in the season 1 finale. We also never saw Scratch having a crush at all, so it makes sense. But as the show continues on, maybe there is a Scratch will have a crush, whatever. So we'll just see. This is just speculation as the show is currently running its second season. Some people even shipped him with Jeff during season 1. Before it was revealed, Jeff has been married to Jeff with a J for 100 years. So yeah, that's kind of weird, but not messed up. It's fine with me. My final results for Scratch will definitely either Ace or Arrow, asexual or romantic, or both at the same time. So yeah, that was the headcanons I had for these characters, and yeah, it took a while to go through it, but I want to know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think about these headcanons? Yeah, I know, please do not switch me of Molly and Andrea's as headcanons. I switched to headcanon Molly as bi, and I switched to headcanon Andrea as pan, but I switch back and forth, so do not change my mind until their sexualities get confirmed. And I want to know you guys about Ollie's bisexuality. What do you think of him being bi? Do you like it? Give your own opinions. Like, I see a list of opinions about him being bi, and I want to know your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, guys, take care.